Hey guys, it's your boy 14 Fluffies here. I am back from regionals. It is Tuesday, the regional is on Saturday, and it is time for my official regional report. Okay, so as some of you may or may not know, I went to the event in San Jose with my friends the Yuchi Hungry and Absolutry 800, aka Brian and Steven respectively. They're all really cool guys. Even though the people from Capital G Stream think Yushi's a scumbag and a stacker, he's actually not. He's actually really cool. And yes, he is Asian, as any of you people on the stream would want to know. So the event was actually somewhat small. I mean, I think they said there were 300 people there, which actually, well, I mean, since this is my first regional, I don't know if that's big or small or whatever, but apparently for California, that's not very big, or so I've heard, but it was what it was. I mean, it was, I guess I kind of liked it being a little bit smaller, but that's just me. One cool thing, even though it was a small regional, Nietzsche 95 was actually there, so yeah, there were YouTubers there, it was really cool. Didn't really sit down or talk with Nietzsche at all, but he was there, he was playing Mermail. You know, there was a lot of meta there. Obviously, there was Pepe, as you will see from my matchups. There was a lot of Pepe for me in particular, but yeah. But there were also a shit ton of Burning Abyss and Cosmo there as well. Like the vast majority of the regional were those two decks. Every table had at least one Cosmo or Burning Abyss mirror match there. Not even exaggerating. So yeah, the majority of the meta in California appears to be Burning Abyss and Cosmo, and only a minor amount of Pepe. So, yeah. I was one of the only hero players there at the time. I think I only saw one other real hero player there. So, yeah, my deck was not very represented, especially my particular build, because the other hero player was playing pure masked heroes. I was, of course, playing my jank as fuck, Masked Fusion Hero Beat thing, whatever you call it. I just call it heroes, really. Let's see. There were, obviously, since Nietzsche 95 was playing Mermails, there were other people playing Mermails. There was a decent amount of Teller Knights, which surprised me, because I thought people stopped playing Teller Knights, really, because Teller Knights are too slow against Pepe. A small amount Buster Blader there. I mean, I ran into Buster Blader for one of my matchups. Some Yosenju, yeah, and of course Pepe. Not a lot of Pepe though. I mean, the higher tables were Pepe. I mean, I'd say Pepe were probably the third most represented deck there. Burning Abyss, I'd say number one. Cosmo number two. Yeah. My first matchup was Pepe, but yeah, I'll actually do that when I actually get to discussing my matchups. But yeah, when of course we got the entry packs, we opened those up. None of us really pulled anything good from the entry packs. No one I've heard of does, at least. But yeah, thing is, we bought me, Absolutry, and Yuji bought more packs afterwards, and Absolutry did pull a Strike, Yuji pulled a Rafflesia, but trust me, none of that shit doesn't compare to the stuff I pulled. Oh my god. Not only did I also pull a Strike, I also pulled a Pendulum Sorcerer, I pulled a playset of Neptibus. I at one point also traded for a playset of Twin Twister and traded it off. Same thing with the Neptibuses. The Neptibus didn't stay for very long. Same thing with the Strike and the Sorcerer. I traded that all off. I wasn't going to ever use it. I got a playset of Rhino Warrior, multiple Ariadnes of, you'll see in the polls. I mean, with my remaining polls, I mean, I'm going to show those too. Yeah, my pulls were off the chart good, and I got some really good trades because of them. So yeah, and you'll see them in when I do my post-Bosch hero deck profile, which I'm not doing here because you'll see why soon. Some of the trades though that were memorable for me is that a lot of people, and oh my god, so many people wanted my Mega Caius. That thing was freaking fire. Everyone wanted it. Everybody wanted Mega Caius as much as people wanted Mask of Restricts and Cyber Dragon Infinity. That's how much they wanted that Mega Caius. Oh my god. I think I had at least 10 different offers for it before I actually decided to get rid of it. And he's just like, what do you value Mega Kai? It's $15. What the fuck? And it's just like, yeah, I had no idea at the time it was $15. Same thing with Kuraz. I mean, I have a Kuraz still. That didn't get traded off surprisingly, but yeah. But Kuraz is coming down in price, I checked, but yeah. Another thing, nobody was willing to trade off their Veilers or their Maxis. That's understandable because they will always be good cards. Yeah, I really wish I could have gotten some Veilers. Some people were willing to trade off their Maxis. It's just that I couldn't really. It's just that I didn't really have anything to trade for equal value, or I just didn't have the money to actually, pay under the table for. Yeah. So you'll see. But I'll show the stuff that I did actually get off of this, which is actually why I'm recording over my playmat, and is as opposed to not doing a face cam or something or any kind of typical vlog. So yeah, first off, I picked up an Ultra Great Tornado just because I play Heroes, duh. And if Stratos does come back, I'm gonna drop Neos Alias and all my light and Koga and Shining for a Divine Wind and respectively this, because this way I don't have to play that scrubby common that came in the Hero Strike structure deck. I picked up a Photon Strike Bouncer. It has a little bit of damage on the edges, but it was a good. It got thrown in a deal, so I'm not really bothered. Now, I also picked up a Cyber Dragon Infinity at the event, which is really nice. I traded off my Sorcerer for an Infinity and a Ptolemaeus, which I'm about to show you. I picked up a Cyber Dragon Nova from the vendor because I had an Infinity. Oh, I actually got the Nova before I got the Infinity, but still. I picked up a Giant Hand because reasons. I bumped up my Ragnar Zero to a Super. Picked up an Exciton Knight. Please come back. Yeah, I was kind of torn if I wanted to get an Exciton Knight or not, but I have him. I don't regret it. Whatever. And Ptolemaeus, it's ulti, and by the way, the Ptolemaeus and the Infinity were both Yuchi's, by the way. I actually traded Yuchi. Yuchi traded me his Infinity and his Ptolemaeus for my Sorcerer, so yeah. And lastly, a Rafflesia. I actually bought this off of Yuchi, which we had arranged prior to the event, but yeah. So these three are Yuchi's, so yeah, that's... If anyone was curious about where I got these from, go check out Yuchi on eBay or something. I don't know. I'll link. Chances are I'll link it in the description. Picked up a playset of Artifact Scythes. Yeah, I know. 2 Ultras and a Super. What the fuck ever. I didn't notice at the time. A Gold Rare Neos Alias. I actually picked up when I got this. It was a secret Neos Alias and a Gold Neos Alias. And, I don't like mismatching rarity, so I eventually got a second secret rare Neos Alias and then just took this one out, so oh well. Next up, the main reason why I'm not doing a hero deck profile right now in this video is I actually picked up a playset of a Hero Lives, and I actually want to try and incorporate this into my build of heroes. Same thing with this Mass Charge, the second Mass Charge. But the thing that perplexes me is how I'm going to play 3 copies of a Hero Lives in a deck that mains Warning and double Time Space. Yeah. I mean, I could just easily drop Time Space to 1, but then Rafflesia is just not quite as good in my opinion. I mean, obviously you can just draw your Trapples and then Rafflesia would just be completely stupidly bad, but it is what it is. And of course, I also picked up a Super Poly, which is nice. It's a secret Super Poly. It's probably never coming back. I just want a Super Poly. That's just me. Picked up a set of breakthrough skills. These are what I stupidly traded my Twin Twisters for. Oh well. There are comments. I mean, the person I traded them for had a playset of Ultra breakthrough skills, which actually would have been an equal trade, but I got ripped off. It happens. It was my first regional. I'm not too in the know about trading, and Yuchi told me about it afterwards. He's just like, man, I didn't want to butt it on your trades because it's rude and all, but you got ripped off. And it's just like, yeah, I don't disagree. 2 Shadow Mirrors. I don't think I'm going to ever be playing them. It's just like, yeah, they're decent. So I picked them up. A Grand Horn. Grand Horn is a really good card. It's just that I just picked it up just because the person was willing to trade it off. So yeah, I picked it up because it was a good card. Next, a Mask of Restrict. No one wanted to trade these. No one. Only one person was willing to trade off 1 common. No one else wanted to trade off their Mask Restricts, even if they had multiples. And in fact, one person I ran into at the event had several playsets of Ultra Mask Restricts, and it was just like, okay, 30 for a playset. What the fuck? But oh well. Either way, I was happy to at least get one. My original goal was to actually pick up a playset of this card, and obviously I didn't succeed because all this shit is here, but oh well. I have one. I'm probably just going to have to buy the other two on TCG Player. Oh well, it sucks, considering that their prices are starting to go up now thanks to the Monarch Structure deck coming out in the next few days. And the last card I picked up was an Oasis of Dragon Souls. I've wanted an Oasis, never was able to get one, but now I have one. I'm not sure if I'm going to be putting it in Heroes or not, because I'm pretty happy with Recall, but we'll see. You'll see in the next deck profile if I put it in or not. But yeah, that does it for the trades I got. I actually blinked out a lot of my deck for Heroes, but I didn't obviously want to put it here because, you know, that would just be almost my entire deck, because it's almost completely foiled out now. As far as the remaining pulls from Bosch, I have a Shiranai Shogu Saga. Yeah, I'm probably gonna butcher the Shiranai names, I'm just saying. A Shiranai Spectral Sword. Playset of Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon to go along with my Infinity. Oh well. Playset of Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. 2 Ariadne. 2 Magic Spectre Sleepers, Supercells. 2 Tuning Magician. A Buster Whelp. A Dharma Eye. A Toad. A Red Eyes Retro Dragon. Playset of Rhino Warriors. 2 Gi Turtle. Playset of Draco Face Off. And a playset of Monkey Board. And to go along with my Draw Lizard I got from Packer Crossholes a while ago, but yeah. So I have a pretty decent amount. I actually pulled a pretty decent amount of Pepe, actually, if you think about it. I pulled the 2 Gi Turtle, the playset of Draco Face Offs, the 3 Monkey Board. I have a Draw Lizard. I also pulled a Master Pendulum. And, of course, I pulled the Sorcerer, and, yeah, I pulled a lot of Pepe stuff. I didn't keep any of it because I'm not going to build Pepe, but, yeah, same thing with my strikes. Like, if I was going to hold on to the strike, like, I would pretty much be obligating myself to finishing up the playset, and it would be really hard to, to me, it would be really hard to pick up the rest of the strikes, considering that not very many people were trading strikes, and it would probably be a pretty steep trade for strikes. So that's why you won't be seeing strikes in my next hero deck list, just because I wasn't able to get the playset. And I know Absoldry is going to be keeping his strike just because he knows, just because chances are it's going to get limited, and when it does get limited, it'll probably go down in price. And on to my matchup, since I'm done showing you my shit. For round 1, it was Pepe, and I lost because it's Pepe. Well, actually, the real reason I lost is because of fucking Ignister. Jesus Christ. Really, Konami fucked up with the Draco Slayers. I mean, really, I think that either Luster Pendulum or Ignister needs to get limited, because the OTKs you can pull off with Ignister is just so stupid. It's not even cool, but we'll just see in the future. I mean, I really think that Luster Pendulum would be a better limit, personally, just because Ignister kind of only supports, well, actually, that's not true. Ignister can do a lot of stuff. Ignister can trigger things like Ariadne and Plushfire. So Ignister isn't a Draco Slayer exclusive card, so yeah. Ignister, I got Ignistered a lot. Every Pepe player Ignistered me at least twice. Every Pepe player was Ignistering me constantly. If they weren't Ignistering my monsters, they would Ignister my back row, yada yada. But for round 1 in particular, I lost. I did lose that match. The best part of the entire match, though, was when I warning a Pendulum Summon of 4, which is really sweet. That was the one part of the entire match I was actually excited about, when he Pendulum Summoned 4, and then I just flipped warning. I didn't win. He still Shrek'd me completely. Oh well. Game two, it was just ugly. I mean, I'd bricked both games. I mean, really, the only thing redeemable about game 1 was that I had a warning and an emptiness. The emptiness got direwolfed, which I didn't really care about. It's just like, okay, you can hit the emptiness, just don't hit warning. He didn't hit warning, and then the warning actually kind of pulled through a little bit. But still, I didn't win. Yeah, game 2, I opened up absolute shit. It's just like, okay, summon Shadow Mist, set mash change. Okay, and then my opponent goes like, okay, normal summon Denko. Fuck. And just like, and then I showed him the back row, just like, why didn't you should have flipped that, man, you should have flipped that preemptively. And he's just like, I could have, but I only like using Dark Law to be disruptive. And it's like, oh yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, he was really cool. All the Pepe players I ran into were really cool. I didn't run into a single douchebag the entire event, which is actually pretty nice. So yeah. Round 2 was versus Cosmo. It actually wasn't as horrible as my Cosmo matches have been in the past, since now that I cited Iron Wall and stuff. Now that I actually have a decent strategy against them too, which is sitting on Koga and Anki and then just beating over all their shit with Iron Wall. Game 1 obviously is a loss because Heroes just... Actually, Game 1 wasn't too bad. It really just spiraled out of control when Dark Destroyer hits the field. I mean, Heroes can deal with the Cosmo, the deck of Cosmo. They just can't deal with Dark Destroyer. That's the thing. But yeah, I lost Game 1. I actually won Game 2. I went to Game 3. I won Game 2 with Koga Iron Wall. And then just attacking with Anki for game. So yeah. Game 2 I won. It was super grindy. We didn't go into time or anything. It's just that game felt like it took forever. Especially since he just stalled on Wicked Witch like every Cosmo player does. Game 3 was freaking savage. My opponent opened double strike and warning, plus E-Telly, and completely destroyed me. Need I say more? Round 3 was actually versus Buster Blader. Game 1 I won. Game 2 I lost because of I forgot the name of the card. It was the Destruction Sword trap that banished all monsters your opponent controlled when you controlled a fusion monster that listed Buster Blader as a fusion material. That was the reason why I lost. He had double of those and completely just shit on my field twice. And then used it to protect his monster, and yeah, reading Rainbow, basically. Learn to read, you scrub. So yeah, after that game, I just read every single card he put on the table. It's just like, okay, yeah, what does this do? What does this do? What does this do? So yeah, I just need to make sure, that way I don't get Shrek'd again. I did actually win that match, because Heroes completely just shit on Rogue decks, I'm just saying. I mean, unless it's like Evil Swarm, then that's the only exception. I will always say Heroes can never be Evil Swarm unless they brick. That's just it. Yeah, but yeah, that Buster Blader trap fucks shit up terribly, and it's good to see that they got good support, at least for that one card. Next round was versus Yosenju. Of course I won that matchup. It went to Game 3, though. Like, every match that I won went to Game 3, regardless. The only really memorable part of that match, other than it just being really long and tiresome, well, at least it felt that way, but the only two memorable things about it was that he Phoenix chained my Neos alias, which actually isn't a thing you can do. The person sitting next to me actually explained it afterwards, saying that, yeah, he couldn't Phoenix chain your Neos alias because it was a normal on field. Yeah, too much Yu-Gi-Oh! Me no good. But the other and more memorable part of the event was that I actually mind crushed double comma 2 from the guy. And yeah, after that I just won just outright. Yeah, because I had a Ragna Zero on the field. He had double Tanky on board. It's just like, yeah, what are you going to do to a Ragna Zero in Yosenju? I'm just going to Ragna Zero everything you put on the field. So yeah. Round 5 and round 6 were Volt versus Pepe, and they were both losses, both 2-0. Actually, no, round 5 was a 2-0. I lost. Game 1, Ignister, too good. And game 2, my Goblinberg got Veilered, and it's just like, fuck. And anytime I open against Pepe, I either never see my side cards or I just brick, or both. So yeah. Round 6 was actually really close, and round 6 was probably the dumbest thing ever. Round 6 was versus Pepe as well. It was a loss, but it went to game 3 actually. Game 1, I actually won game 1 versus Pepe, which you would think would not happen very often whatsoever, but it did. Like, I won game 1 versus Pepe. I had a Shadow Mist and a Mass Change set, and I normal summoned the Shadow Mist, so there was nothing that specified that I actually had a Mass Change set, even though even though, really, if your opponent normal summons Shadow Mist and sets a bunch of back row, chances are there's a mass change back there, just saying. Yeah, he put a scale. It was a luster and a mirror conductor. That's what it was, a luster and a mirror conductor. And he put them in his P scales and then activated Wavering Eyes. I chained Mass Change. It resolved. Mass Change resolved before Wavering Eyes. Dark Law hit the field, and, well, he actually called a judge over just to clarify if whether or not the stuff went to extra or was banished. Of course, it's banished because Dark Law's on the field before Wavering Eyes resolves. Therefore, when his stuff gets destroyed, they're banished. I take the 500. He searches, Dark Law will then trigger and then and then snipe a card out of his hand, and I hit an instant fusion, which is good, even though he wouldn't be doing anything with it anyway, considering he wouldn't have a graveyard anyway. But yeah, I pretty much won because of chaining Mass Change to Wavering Eyes. Like, it was savage. Game 2, I lost. I don't remember how I lost exactly. All I know is that I did lose. In Game 3, we actually went into time. We both opened really slow. I mean, eventually he was able to pick it up, but I made a Rafflesia, and he wasn't willing to put anything in front of it, just because I just get rid of it. He eventually did make an Ignister, and then I sent Bottomless from my deck to the graveyard, and he's just like, what, you sent Bottomless? Which really surprised him, because he knew I main Time Space. So yeah, it's just like, you didn't send Bottomless? That actually legitimately surprised him. And if I sent Time Space, he would have actually won, because I would have paid life points from Time Space. Well, actually not paid, I would have lost life points from Time Space, but yeah, either way, like, he still won, because it was the 6th turn in time, and then he realized he had a Wavering Eye set, he activated it, popped his scales, and then inflicted 500 damage, and then just ended his turn and won. It was such bullshit, but I guess whatever works, I guess. But yeah, that's just how being in time goes. Oh well. I guess the lesson I learned from there is never make Rafflesia in time, it just stalls way too much. Yeah, I guess that's the lesson to be learned. Oh well. Either way, it's a lesson. So technically I did go 2 and 4 at the event. I didn't scrub out though. I really, if we didn't have to leave the event early for ride arrangements, I would have stayed through every round of Swiss and for side events. But yeah, I didn't scrub out. Yuchi, I didn't scrub out like Yuchi did. Yuchi scrubbed out hugely. He dropped out to round 5. I stayed until round 6. So, yeah, I stayed a whole round longer than Yuchi. He scrubbed out, which is hilarious. Yeah, but he was playing Fluffles, so yeah, whatever. What did you expect? You can't say Absolgy scrubbed out. He was playing Gravekeepers. I mean, you can't say that I scrubbed out at a regionals when I played any old irrelevant deck in January 2016. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let alone Gravekeepers. I mean, even though he was teched out for the format, it's just like, what do Gravekeepers do to Pepe other than just sit on Floodgates? Just saying. I mean, what do any rogue decks do to Pepe other than just sit on Floodgates? But yeah. Let's see. We didn't stay for placings, even though I'm pretty sure I placed higher than both Yuchi and Absolgy. Yeah. The regional was really fun. It was really nice meeting Yuchi and Absolgy. Like, two really cool guys. Really encourage you to check out their channels. Yuji actually told me earlier today on DN that he was thinking about restarting up a YouTube channel. So definitely stay tuned for that. Yeah, and he's also since I wasn't able to get Yuji's deck profile for his deck at the regional, he said he would record it for me on his own time and then send it to me so I could upload it for my channel. So that's nice of him. Definitely look forward to that. I'm going to be doing my updated post-boss hero deck profile after I'm figuring out if I'm going to add those copies of A Hero Lives in the second Mash charge to my deck or not. It just depends. Like, if it wasn't for those cards, I would be doing a profile for the deck right now in this video too. But oh well, yeah. Look forward to those things coming up, and I'll see you in the next video.